Today on the channel, we're coming at you from the land of the ice and snow with a polar bear and Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Classified series.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another G.I. Joe Classified series unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got a polar bear and Snake Eyes as we continue to build out the mass device. But for all your G.I. Joe Classified series needs and a whole lot more, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15% on all in-stock items, just like you can do with this one here, as they do have this in stock as I'm filming this. Check it out, pick it up. You got to have a polar bear in your collection. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. Do some comparisons at the end per the norm here. But this is a big deluxe pack and one that looks absolutely amazing. I was excited for the day they announced this. I'm excited for it right now. Always fun to get Snake Eyes. Not my favorite Joe, of course, but cool to get another version of Snake Eyes. But this polar bear is an absolute game changer here. And I imagine collectors from different toy lines picking up this pack just to get a polar bear. And I can see if this one was on sale or a deal, people buying this to get extra polar bears for their collection. So if you're just after a Snake Eyes, you could probably figure out or work with somebody and get a heck of a deal on that if you want to do that. But let's dive into it. Let's see what's going on with this polar bear and Snake Eyes here. Of course, from the classic Mass Device episode, Snake Eyes there, you know, the radioactive material. It was a really sad episode. I remember Snake Eyes putting his hand up there like he was dying, like he was going to be Spock in that one Star Trek. And I've never seen that Star Trek movie, but Spock like died or something. It's a very famous clip. I've seen it a billion times. I've never seen the movie, but that was kind of like Snake Eyes saying goodbye to everybody, thinking he was going to die with all the radioactive material and stuff. But it was very cool that, you know, Snake Eyes was found. There was the guy out there in the wilderness that helped him out. He fought the polar bear, and he found a friend that found his way into his heart that ended up being his companion, his trusty timber wolf, Timber, as we do know. So more on that a little bit later here. But big window box, big heavy pack here, looking very cool. G.I. Joe Classified Mass Device as well. We did get Breaker from the Mass Device, and I'm still waiting those Target 2-pack of the 2 divers. Not super excited for that pack, but we'll see how it is when we get it on the shelf. Or on the review, I guess, get it off the shelf. G.I. Joe, Snake Eyes, and Polar Bear right here. 4 and up on here. You 3-year-olds, you can't handle a polar bear like this, that's for sure. There's Snake Eyes in dire straits right over there, like a young Mark Knopfler. QR code on the side over here, and then on the back, oh, watch out. He's got that, and he's fighting him. He's fighting him. He's standing up on his hind legs there. He's ready to take on Snake Eyes, and dare I say, even eat Snake Eyes if he needs to. Plenty of jibber jabber to keep us busy. Looking very, very cool. And I love that there's battle damage you can have on this polar bear as well. I think that is really cool. See you later, Spider-Man style. Some warnings, of course, that we usually get. And there's a lot going on this one. And some stuff fell out. It looks like I don't know what happened there. The twist ties broke through. So everything kind of fell out for me, unfortunately. So I got some loose accessories dialing about is what's going on here. But we're going to give it the old heave-ho. See you later, goodbye. But we do got the polar bear, Snake Eyes, and all kinds of stuff in the plastic prison. And we're going to pop it all out. And I guess we got to build this polar bear. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to take this offline. We need all this stuff out of the tape, all these weapons, all the Snake Eyes. And we'll be back talking all things Snake Eyes and polar bear. All right, let's get down to Snake Eyes and polar bear business here as we dive into this Mass Device pack. Once again, Breaker and the 2 divers from Target, and this. That's your little Mass Device thing. And it's cool to take a story arc from the cartoon Once Upon a Time and put a kind of a subset within a set together. Would love to see that. Serpentor Arise, I could see them doing that maybe in the future as well. We'll see what ends up happening. But let's dive into the accessories first. We'll start off with the hands. 2 gripping hands out of the package for Snake Eyes. And then you do got 2 trigger hands with the up and down hinge on here. Of course, ungloved hands is what we got going on. Then we get the hot pink hands. We got the hot pink hands out of the package as well. We've seen this version of Snake Eyes throughout the years in a lot of different lines, the 25th anniversary, things like that. But this one is pretty darn cool. I love the translucent style plastic. These might even glow in the dark. I'll have to check it out for the glamour shots. But you got 2 Fists of Fury, and you got the dreaded Hi-Ya hands. He's ready to go. He's ready to Hi-Ya all day long. So we got plenty of different hands to choose from here for Snake Eyes. Then we're diving in here. We got a little pistol, a little side piece, the silver and black attack looking good. Can store that on Snake Eyes. Same thing with his knife. This is the trusty Joe knife. We've seen this with Law and Order. We've seen it with Quick Kick and Night Force, all kinds of stuff. So we've seen this numerous times. Black handle, silver blade at the top, looking very good right there. And then, of course, can't forget the standard issue G.I. Joe rifle, we'll call it here. Silver and black attack. Once again, seen this before as well. So gotta get the most out of your molds. We know how they do it by now with that. Diving over here into the mass device, you get that container, of course, then you get the mass device piece right here, but you got the container. A very cool story arc for Snake Eyes, as I talked about earlier. You felt bad for him. You're like, oh, he's gonna die, you know, and Scarlett's weeping over there, and Duke's just like, all right, finally getting rid of this Snake Eyes. That's the kind of person Duke is. He would rather have Snake Eyes die so Scarlett has no other choice but to try to be with him, which we all know Scarlett's got the eyes for Flint, but Lady J keeps that at bay. And you know, Cover Girl, Lady J, and Flint go off and do their thing. We know that's a true story. But of course, Duke's like, all right, Snake Eyes, hope he dies. He was rooting on the death of Snake Eyes, and that's one of the reasons Snake Eyes never talks to Duke all these years later, of course, as we know. Fact check it, I wouldn't do it. It's true. If it's a Duke story from me, you know it's 100% true. But you get the mass device pieces right here ready to go, plus the container with all the radioactive material in it as well. Now we're going to dive into, let's go Snake Eyes. We'll save the best for last. The polar bear is the thing with this one here. I'm not against this Snake Eyes, though. Of course, it's the more commando look of Snake Eyes. Always prefer commando Snake Eyes over ninja Snake Eyes. That's just me personally. I know others think differently. And we just unboxed a different Snake Eyes on the channel not long ago. But this one isn't far off from the retro commando Snake Eyes that we got, I don't know, however long ago that was. What is time, as we like to say. But it does got that classic blue instead of the black here. You got the purple goggles on, I guess is what we'll call them. We got the ski mask over the top. Very smart to dress this way. It is cold up there in the Arctic Circle, as we know. Had the vest over the top on this one as well. Got some canisters sculpted in there, some pouches sculpted in. Looking very nice as usual. Got the hole in the back for the G.I. Joe backpack, of course. You got the long outfit here, the long thermal outfit. He's trying to keep warm is what he's trying to do. You got the pink gloves, as we talked about earlier. You got the holster for the knife, holster for his weapon here. Interesting, it has the spot for like a silencer suppressor, and I do not have one of those, and I don't think it came with this either, so it's getting to the point where we're getting reused on some of this stuff that doesn't make sense. We've seen that a few times with some of these Joes lately. Black boots on him as well. But besides that, pretty much paint by numbers, minimalistic Snake Eyes from the Mass Device episodes. You got a little bit of butterfly shoulder. You do get arms that go all the way around, bicep cut, double jointed, pinless elbows, playing all the hits. Hands back and forth, side to side. Head back and forth, side to side. Neck back and forth, side to side as well. Ab crunch, of course, got to have that. Waist articulation. Those big old Snake Eyes splits, watch out for them. Leg goes up for the big boot. Thigh cut. Double jointed, pinless knees. The hits continue. Drop down hips, of course. Boot cut, ankles back, forth, side to side. Up and down. All the usual classified articulation. It's here. Love to see it. Love to see it. And of course, fits on a Mattel ringside collectible stand using discount code Kyle to, of course, save 10%. Snake Eyes looking pretty good. And when I think of the Mass Device, this is exactly what I think of. So job well done by the G.I. Joe team, if you ask me. And speaking of Commando Snake Eyes, we got one earlier here. It's different. It's different than this one here. Yeah, it's different. So we got this Commando one at least. That was the one I grabbed. And then I grabbed the most recent Commando Snake Eyes as well. Paintball Snake Eyes in the house here today. But cool to get some multiple Snake Eye figures. Snake Eyes is one of the most popular, probably, G.I. Joe members. Outside of Flint, I would have to imagine, maybe second most popular, maybe. Some people may think he is the true second leader of G.I. Joe right after Flint, too. And I don't know if I could argue that. He's pretty popular. He seems to know his things. But I think his lack of speech holds him back a little bit. I think that's the case. But I'd rather have Snake Eyes lead me into a mission than Duke. I think we'd all agree on that. So shout out to Snake Eyes doing his thing. But now it's time to get this polar bear. I'm excited for this one. I've been looking forward to this one as well. So we do get a little piece right here, and it is a piece of fur, And unfortunately, he got a couple of arrows in him, as we do remember that episode getting shot with the arrows. And very cool, you got that little patch on the arm. You can remove that there and you show some muscle. He's injured, he's hurt, he's got beat up a little bit. But then, of course, you can plug this in if you want to. So you can do it however you want to. Once again, it makes me feel like I need 2 polar bears. We got 2 heads, you got 2 pieces, have one laying down, one standing up. I don't know. It's pretty tempting to get another one of these in the collection. We'll see what happens there. But diving into the head sculpt first before we dive into the rest of the polar bear. We got this polar bear face here, and he's seen better days. He's got one white eye with a big scar through it, so apparently he got stabbed by something or cut by something. Same thing up there on the nose. He's got a big blood streak right there, looking real rough. He's been through the battles, apparently. Got in fight with a wayward seal, I think is what happened, maybe. Got the old teeth there. No movability on the jaw on this one here. You got 2 ears going on. You got the fur there. You hand me this head. I know this is a polar bear all day long. Looking very, very nice. Now, the second head, this is the money head. If you only got one of these, this is the one you're going to have. You got the big open mouth. Once again, I wish it was a movable jaw. Not in the cards right here, but you got those big old teeth showing there. You got all the scars, all that kind of stuff. But this is the mad polar bear. This is the polar bear where you get him up on his hind legs and he's ready to take on the world. Very cool, but very cool to get 2 different heads for this one, no doubt about it. But now, diving into the polar bear itself, and I guess we'll start off with some articulation. You get the head removable, up, down, back, forth, side to side. Very easy to move this head too. Very easy to move it around. And you got neck articulation back and forth, side to side. You do get the leg that goes up and down. It goes out a little bit, but nothing really. You do get a bend at the elbow, and then you get a bend at the ankle here, back and forth, and then you get the toe articulation. Got those beautiful big polar bear claws as well on him, looking very good. Nice paws down here. Then in the midsection, there's no articulation. The legs have the same articulation as the front on the polar bear, so the same kind of thing going on, but no toe articulation in the back like on the front. But looking good. It is a polar bear because it is all white. However, you look a little closer, it's got some shades of gray in here. It's all shades of gray, isn't it, Snake Guys? Maybe, but you got some dirtiest wash to it a little bit here. It makes it look like it's just not a primo polar bear from a Coca-Cola commercial. This is a polar bear that's been out in the wild. It's seen some things. It's got some disheveledness to it. It's got some scars. It's got some personality, and it does look very, very nice. I'm not sure how hard this is going to be to stand up. Now, he doesn't have a hole in his foot, so you're not going to be able to put it on a ringside stand or anything like that, but you will be able to move the head way down there. That's part of that articulation. And then the neck, you're going to want to move that down as well. And then I guess, what do we do? Arch the arms a little bit, put the paws out. I don't know. You can put him in the circus too if you wanted to maybe, but very cool to be able to stand, but I'm just worried. Is he going to stand? Is he going to stand on his own without falling down? Could be fairly tough, but we're going to try. We're going to try right here real quick at the table. Look at that. He stands, so it can be done. Definitely menacing for sure. I don't know. Do I like him better standing or down on all fours? I don't know. I kind of like all fours better. Maybe. It does look a little bit off. Something is off on this one. It almost looks like a guy in a polar bear costume or something. Like some kind of guy that put the head of it over here. Kind of looks like a big tall guy like my dad dressed up as a polar bear. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But we'll put him next to Snake Eyes here for the height difference. That looks pretty good, I think, all things considered. When you're comparing a polar bear to a man, maybe. But how about we bring out old Timber here? Of course, we remember Timber saving Snake Eyes, ready to fend off this polar bear. So you can see the height difference, size difference between these two here. I think that works very well as well. And then another big monster from the Joe line, of course, Crocmaster and his crocodile. Maybe we can finally have Animal Wars here. We can have this polar bear take on the crocodile. Maybe that's something. But the polar bear is an interesting one because it's never been a Joe animal. But maybe, you know, we finally get that iceberg figure. We get Blizzard. Maybe we get Stalker in his canoe and we say, hey, this is their pet polar bear. Maybe we could do something like that. But you see him next to that big croc. 2 big time animals here. Very, very fun. Maybe have these two square off. Who is your money on if these two are squaring off? Polar bear or crocodile? I'm going to go polar bear. I think it'll be a heck of a fight, though. I think it'll be a heck of a fight, but I'm going polar bear. I think there'll be some limbs lost on both sides and 1 life lost between both sides, but I do think the polar bear will come out on top. I don't know. You guys sound off in the comments below, but a very fun pack right here. I love whenever we get animals in the classified line, and this is a very, very fun one. I don't know if we classify it as a figure or what you classify this as. I guess an animal. So I guess it can't be figure of the year, even though it's a figure. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out later at the end of the year when I do the G.I. Joe classified rankings, of course. But I really like this polar bear. It feels fun, and it makes this feel very fresh. Because like I said, we've had this Snake Eyes many times in many different lines over the years. Nice to get something with a little extra pizzazz like a polar bear. And basically a 2-in-1 polar bear as well at that. So a lot to like about this pack. As I said, available at Jay's right now. Save 15%. Got to get a deal, as we always do say. But a lot of fun with this set here. But what about you? Yes, you. Are you picking this up? Is this for you? Are you excited about it? You happy about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. Of course, a lot going on every single day over there, and it is the best way to support the channel, as I did say. Check out YouTube channel memberships as well while you're at it. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. My weekly podcast, wherever podcasts are found, with videocast on YouTube. So for Snake Eyes and Polar Bear, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?